Hello guys, this is Vysh. So we'll discuss the Hindu editorial for July 27 and today is Thursday. So Thursdays, too many articles are not important, but still I'll show you everything. Okay, I'll show you what are the articles we'll discuss and what we will not discuss. Okay, so the headlines first. The first article is not relevant. It is the Parliament, the monsoon session has started. Usually Parliament will have three sessions, the budget session, monsoon session, and then later the winter session. So now the monsoon session has started, and obviously elections are also coming up. So whatever the ruling party will be telling, opposition party will be objecting, and even a no confidence motion has been brought in. This happens every time. 2019 also, when election was due. 2018 all the parties together made an opposition and then did this thing, okay, which never will become successful because the majority parties, majority members are with the ruling party, and so whatever they bring in such a thing will fail. Okay, they won't get the numbers to pass it. So now the Manipur issue, both the parties want to discuss on it and find a conclusion, but something which the ruling party will tell, they will, opposition will make noise, or opposition will do something, they will make noise. So finally it's like a deadlock, and they are walking out, and it's always like this. Indian politics, you know how it is, like more of drama will be there. So there is no conclusion there. Okay, so it's a debate and there's nothing much in this article to discuss. The second article, if you see, this is about the debt of India. Okay, India's GDP and the debt ratio and all. It is too much. Okay, the debt is too much, especially after pandemic. So that detailed article we'll discuss. Many technical terms are there. So unless you know the static part of economics, many things you won't understand. But still, I will try to simplify and tell you. Okay, and then the next article, if you see, this is Himachal. The Himachal Pradesh local news, it is about the apple growers there. Okay, Himachal, Jammu and Kashmir and all, we make a lot of apples there, and even we export it. So their concerns and the price hike related things, it's not important for exam. So that is the local news. Then here we have this SEO. SEO already 2-3 times we discussed, because the SEO summit, India was the chair, and this time we did it virtually because we did not want to invite China and Pakistan and all to India. So that SEO as a success story, this author seems to be a big fan of SEO, because the same point round and round and round they have been going on telling, like cooperation, this thing, that thing. But 2-3 important developments and points in that updates, I'll tell you. Okay, so that also we'll discuss. Then this article, this is the charts and graph, where India has banned the rice export. Okay, we majorly export to many countries in the USA region, in the Europe region, and also in Africa. So many of them are affected now when we stopped the export. Okay, we stopped the export because we wanted to make the price stabilized here. Okay, so that it doesn't go out and then here everything is stabilized and the price becomes normalized. But that is affecting the world, many countries. So that related some charts is there. Okay, and then here, this article also I wanted to discuss, but the way it is written is very philosophical and unwanted, very poor, unpopular reports are considered here. Okay, that too surveys and all, global surveys which we've never even heard, such surveys are referred here. So it's a very poor article. Okay, what they are doing is they're telling about the well-being of Indians, in the sense India's income is increasing, we are projecting like this much GDP, then a trillion, 5 trillion economy, this and all will become. But is the income and the life satisfaction of the people in tandem? Okay, is it in parallel or is it matching? Meaning when income rises, is the life satisfaction of people increasing? That they have done some random survey interviewing some 50-100 people, some random very small count of people, and gave some statistics. So that did not make sense. Okay, so they're telling income is a narrow measure of well-being, and it was argued by the earlier economist also. If you see, like people like Amartya Sen is there, the Angus Dearton is there. So these people all were in the same opinion, that just because income increases, that does not mean that your life satisfaction also will increase. Okay, so that is the point here told by these in this article. And also the survey name, if you see, Gallup World Poll. Okay, some survey 2018 onwards data they have taken, and they are trying to do this or tell this this thing, the relation between life satisfaction and income. So I did not find it much impressive. This is the only 4-5 points which is valid, or which I thought like telling you, else you do not waste time on this article. Okay, then here a report has come. So reports for prelims, it's always important. World Economic Outlook. Okay, World Economic Outlook is actually by IMF. Okay, International Monetary Fund. So this particular report, as such, the name you have to know. Other than that, inside that the usual things are discussed, like the world issues, like USA and Switzerland, the banks are collapsing, they're trying to recover their economy. Russia-Ukraine war, because of that again this lot of export-import things are there. World is affected, the currency problems. Then again the same thing which we discussed, rice shortage and price hike of rice in across the world. This and all they have discussed in a separate report, okay, what that report statistics came. So there only takeaway is the report is by IMF. So the charts, if you see, this is the chart given, rush for rice they are calling, and you can see the top 50 countries to which export of rice happens, in which Nepal is like leading, then Madagascar, Benin, Malaysia, UAE, Kenya, Saudi, Qatar, Iraq, Sri Lanka, USA, all these are among the top 50 countries who import rice from India, okay. So that they are dependents, and then they are affected now when we stopped export, that they have just shown in a chart format, okay. So these are the important articles, and we'll discuss that 2-3 articles which I told is the most important to be discussed today. So again, this question which people keep asking, should I make notes, should I make notes? Being a mature aspirant, because without becoming 21 years old, you cannot give UPSC. That is first point. At the age of 21 also, you ask these kind of questions is because you are fed by this fake coaching classes and this toppers model telegram group and all. That is why you are asking such questions. You have given your 10th, you have given your 12th, you have given your degree. You made notes out of your choice. Nobody will ask you to make notes. Nobody will ask you to submit those notes. Okay. This exam, UPSC exam, you are studying. So consider like your other exams only. Don't make it don't give too much hype for this exam. This is an exam for you to qualify and get a job. So notes making is you write something for what? For you to recollect later, so that I don't need to read that textbook again. I don't need to watch that video again. So I make notes. So if you want, you make notes. Don't make it a rocket science thing like, should I make notes? Should I make notes? How much should I make notes? What color pen I should use? What frequency I should use? These are very, very pathetic questions actually. So you are asking this because it's okay, you're a first timer, and that first timer, how will you change? How will you become that serious aspirant or a proper aspirant? For that only, coaching classes teach you in the first days the induction program, the foundation program. This you purposely ignore, or you don't take it seriously. You think like, because seeing the video title, especially Vysh IAS video, you will see like how to make notes. You will think like, what is this? I know to make notes. Why should I waste my time watching this 30 minutes video? And then you come and ask like this under each and every video. It doesn't make sense. If you are studying seriously, if you have seen like, okay, Vysh IAS editorials are helping me, it is doing good. So then go ask, okay, WhatsApp number is there. Go and ask, let me ask like, how should I start? Should I watch this editorial daily? That first you come and ask for one time. Then I will tell you there is foundation, watch that 30 foundation video, then you will be in track. Without doing any of these, for your entire lifetime, entire YouTube, wherever comment section is open, you go and ask the same thing. Sir, help me. I'm a beginner. I don't know how to study. I don't know how to make notes. Which newspaper is important? These questions, how long will you keep asking? Till the end of your preparation of 6 years journey, or how much ever you are giving attempts, you will keep asking the same thing. Evolve, come outside of this school shell and this immature phase and become an aspirant first. Then only you are even eligible to give the exam. These all may sound harsh because you are not taking the teacher seriously. One time obey, you will see your life changing. Okay, don't do this every time asking in comment section these things, because I've told the answer here also. If you want to make notes, you do notes, or come and get my foundation. That foundation answers at least 10,000 questions which aspirants will have, at least 10,000 questions. I have made it. I have not like given to other teachers something. I have made it. So I know. So please do this. WhatsApp number is given. Forget everything what you did till now. Start from scratch again. Okay. Start with the foundation. There's a high chance then you will become a proper aspirant, and then study properly. Okay. So that is rule number 1, foundation. Test series again, 24, batch 1 is closed. So many people are coming and asking, sir, I could not join that time. Let me join now. That I will launch batch 2 now. So that also will have everything what batch 1 had. Okay. The timetable will be different. That's all. The dates of studies. It will start around August mid or August 10th, and then you will study till the next May. That 1 year timetable will be there. For 2025, same thing, but 2 year timetable. That both will come within 1 week. Okay. I'm planning to start enrollments from August 1. So I will announce by July 31, hopefully. Okay. So you wait for that. So again, foundation, WhatsApp number is given. Vysh courses channel for other exams, other state exams. So the first article, Indian debt and deficit. Okay, so deficit itself, as I told, technically you should know many things like fiscal deficit, revenue deficit, primary deficit, many things are there. Okay, debt is a common word that India is taking loan. It can be any form. India can be like internally taking loan from RBI or any other private sources, or the external debt where we take from IMF, we take from other countries. Okay, we usually don't take from other countries, we take it from IMF or World Bank if required. Okay, IMF at the extreme case only. World Bank usually we take loan. Or there are other banks like Asian Development Bank is there, Asia related to 2-3 banks, New Development Banks, BRICS Bank. Okay. So that is where we take debt. So debt part will be very easy to understand. Deficit is like when there is a shortage, meaning Indian government is projecting that next year we will make random number, take $100 billion we will make Okay, but you have expenses also. So you will be like salaries, you will have pensions, you will have other schemes, infrastructure, priorities, subsidies, many things are there which government has to spend. So that, suppose it became $200 billion. So you made only, you are expecting you will get only, like in taxes and revenue and everything, you will get only $100 billion. You have to spend $200 billion. So this difference, which is 200 minus 100 billion, that is called the deficit. Okay, so that is the fiscal deficit, FISCAL, fiscal. Okay, so fiscal deficit, India's fiscal deficit is very high. That is what the author is telling and trying to tell, that we are nowhere going to catch up, or we are in too much debt. Especially some of the states in India are in too much debt. Okay, meaning that states treasury itself is empty. They cannot survive. They are living on loan actually. So that situation all has to change, and lot of data is given. Okay, so if you see, India's elevated level of this fiscal deficit and public debt has been a matter of concern for a very long time in India. Okay, so before the pandemic, it was already highest among developing countries. In emerging economies, if you take, India's debt was very high already. The pandemic pushed it even further, and the numbers they have given, like 13.3% of fiscal deficit and public debt of 89.6%. Okay, this and all with comparison to GDP they might be telling. And then economy after pandemic recovered. That time little bit it became lesser, meaning it became 8.9% of GDP the deficit, and 85.7 the public debt. So still it is high. Okay, still it is high. So this one author is telling, in near term or medium term, we are not going to reduce it, or it's going to stay like this only. And bigger thing is, in 2023, lot of state elections are there. I think Telangana election is the soonest, earliest one which is coming. Then like their elections are there, and 24 the other election, the full all India election is there. So that time, you know, the election budgets which our government also spends is very huge. Every states also will spend. So the budget and this much, what it will do, it will again push the debt even further. They will even borrow money, take loans, they will somehow manage. And the election campaign, you know how big it is in India. So it is again going to become bigger. The debt burden is going to become even becoming bigger. So now they are telling two factors which it can lead to reducing the debt. Okay, one is there should be no primary deficit, and then next is the growth rate of GDP exceeds the effective interest rate paid. Okay, one thing I told, you have loans means you will have to pay interest also. Okay, suppose from World Bank we take loan, it's not the loan alone you have to give. Monthly till you give back the loan, there will be interest payment. So that interest payment, because it's a kind of a loan, from the fiscal deficit, we can actually minus it, okay, to get something called the primary deficit. Because fiscal deficit, we know we have a lot of payment to be done. We have a lot of, like this much, as I told, $100 billion loss or repayment is there, which we cover up by loan. And then we are giving interest also. That interest also, if you start counting as expense, which the government has, it's very unlikely that we'll never finish it off. Okay, so just for convenience, we have one more feature called primary deficit, which we count. That is, we minus off that interest thing. Okay, only the actual expense and the actual spending which we have, actual receiving which we do, that we take. So that time we get something called primary deficit. So at least that we should try to make zero. Okay, fiscal deficit is not easy to make zero. Primary deficit will make zero, meaning without counting the interest payment. So that it should not be there, meaning zero primary deficit. And then GDP should grow in such a way that it is compensating the interest also which we are paying. So that if we do, our debt will decline. So just a two-factor kind of thing they have told for ease of understanding. Okay, and then again technical terms. Okay, in two things are there. Like whenever we tell fiscal policy, FISCAL, fiscal policy, that is something which the government does. Okay, like government is giving subsidy, government is reducing tax rate, something they are doing. Government is doing money related thing. It's called fiscal policy. Now something if the RBI is doing, it is called monetary policy. Okay, RBI also has a lot of tools which they do, quantitative tools, qualitative tools. These are all economic static part. Okay, which in my videos you will find, in playlist you will find. So there, if you take, there is something called statutory liquidity ratio, SLR. Okay, so that is something like, suppose before that, the second line, if you see, there is a term called demand and time liability, red color, demand and time liability. So that is what bank is. How does bank function? Bank will be printing money, that is one thing. Then they will have this whatever fund they have, that they have to give out as loan to people. Okay, one thing is, we as people will go and deposit money in the bank. Then that, like suppose 5% interest rate, something, whatever. Then they will give that as loan to outside people for maybe 7% interest rate. So that between the 2% what is there, that is the profit of the bank. Okay, like your savings account you have, any bank, you go and put money there, you are getting some interest rate. So more than that only will be the interest rate of the loan being given out. Okay, so that difference is how bank makes money. So now it's not like bank has, suppose again $100 billion or 100 rupees. Okay, suppose 100 rupees, bank cannot give the entire 100 rupees as loan. Then bank will become empty. Okay, because tomorrow you go and demand for your money, from where will they give if the entire thing is given to loan? So in the bank, first thing there is something called CRR. Okay, that ratio, credit ratio, that CRR is something like they will tell like 4%. RBI will tell 4% or 5%. That the bank has to keep it with the RBI. Okay, I mean 100 rupees is there, 4 rupees keep with the RBI. Now remaining only 96 is there with the bank. Now in that 96 also, now something is there called SLR, statutory liquidity ratio, which you see on screen. That again they will tell here, if you see 18% in the first line, 18% is SLR. That also RBI tells. So now 18 more rupees you have to keep it with the bank itself. Okay, 4 rupee you kept with RBI, 18 rupee you will keep with the this thing. Okay, you will keep with the bank itself in the form of either gold or cash or government securities. Okay, like the 2-3 forms are there in which you can keep. Now remaining, meaning 18 also gone, 4 also gone, 22 rupees is gone, remaining 78 rupees is the bank. There also actually again more things are there. There is something called priority sector lending, PSL, about which this year I think prelims question came. That means out of that, at least some of the money you should as priority, like agriculture sector to poor people, unorganized sector, like that 30%, 40%, like that some rules will be there. That much loan should give to only that such people. Okay, then remaining whatever is there, 30 rupees, 40 rupees out of the total 100, that is the one which you can give for open public, remaining public people. Okay, that's loan. So like this criteria is there. Bank cannot do as they like. How much ever money they have, net, that is called the net demand and time liability, which you see. Okay, what is the meaning of that? Demand liability and time liability. There in the bank there are 2 types of deposit. One I told you go and put your savings bank account. So that is demand thing. Okay, meaning it's a liability for the bank because you can demand anytime. You will tomorrow go and put a check and withdraw, or net banking you are using and transferring cash. So you are demanding, you should get the money from you, from the bank. So that is called demand liability. Time liability means you are putting FD, fixed deposit, or you're putting RD, recurring deposit. When you put your money, then for next 2 years you will not touch. So that's also liability of the bank. Bank should give you, but it is time liability, meaning there's till a time you cannot go and ask. If you ask also, then penalty will be there. So that is what demand liability or demand deposit and time deposit. That together is the net demand and time liability which the bank has, or the money which bank has. From there, CRR will go, SLR will go, some loans to the priority sector will go, remaining will go to the public. This is the thing. So they are telling already we are in debt. Okay, so this and bank has these things, 18%, this thing you have to keep. Then RBI in between will come and do some open market operation where you are selling bond, buying bond, something you will do. So there are many challenges in the bank. Okay, to tell that one line I have to explain you this much because most of you will not know these basics, statics. Okay, so that's why again I'm telling, if you are not understanding static, you cannot depend on any particular textbook. There is economics, Ramesh Singh textbook is there. There are again Sanjeev Verma, many textbooks are there, but I didn't find any of them useful. Okay, for UPSC. For that, one teacher has to teach you, or some coaching or test series has to teach you properly economics. So in Vysh IAS, as of now in Hindi, we have classes. Okay, English already 20 to 30 videos playlist is there. In English, I may launch it soon, but in my test series already I have covered everything. Like whatever I explained you, everything with pictures and graphs, detailedly, repo rate, CRR, SLR, many things are there. Money and banking, everything is explained. That's why I'm telling you, if you're enrolled to my test series, you don't have to worry. Okay, simply by reading it, you will understand everything. Okay, so now coming back to here, like this bank has lot of challenges, and now the concerns, like 1, 2, 3, first, second, third, like told some concerns about having this much debt and problems for a country. They're telling interest payment constitute over 5% of GDP and 25% of the revenue receipt. Okay, meaning your GDP is this much percentage, it's like you are simply wasting on interest payment. Why? Just because you took loan. Okay, because you didn't manage your economy properly, you have to take loan. Because you have taken loan, you have to pay interest, and that interest is like 5% of GDP or 25% of the revenue which you are going to get. So this all is actually very bad for an economy. This actually, when you add up, it is equal to our health and education expenditure. Meaning, if interest payment was not there, you could have spent it on these things, right? You could have spent it on education and health. And also it is crowding out much of the needed other expenditure also, like infrastructure you need, human development you need, other priorities are there, like green transition, green climate, renewable energy, many things government needs money. So you are, instead of doing this, you are paying interest payment. So that is one of the biggest drawback of having lot of debt. Then second one, counter-cyclic fiscal policy. This is like counter-cyclical means whenever you are in recession, you are in some shocks, you are having economy, some shock is there, some bad phase is going on. That time you need suddenly money, but you are already in debt. Okay, like you see Pakistan's situation now, Sri Lanka situation now, they all have defaulted. Defaulted means they are in crisis. The outside people gave them loan. That loan they didn't pay interest, and then it's like date after date it's going. It's completely becoming like default loans also. Okay, Pakistan is one of the worst countries in managing finance, you know, because Pakistan and India both got independent together, and we know how India is performing and how Pakistan is performing. One of the poorest performing country in the entire South Asia is Pakistan. Okay, even Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan are doing better than them. So they, even after getting loan, shamelessly they spend it on other religious activities and maybe just to sponsor terrorism activities, then building big flags of Pakistan. They are spending on unwanted things and have no shame even after getting multiple warnings from the world bodies. Okay, so that way anyway India is not poorly performing, but the way India is going now, okay, maybe we will also start to struggle in the future. Okay, now we are in a good position, but these are all signs that if you don't manage economy properly, especially they are telling the states like Punjab, Kerala, Rajasthan, West Bengal are like too much debt to GDP ratio, and GSDP meaning states GDP. Okay, that is like too much. If you see 48%, 37%, in the 30s and 40s, the percentage of their GDP is in debt. Okay, so they are the ones who will be maybe together lead to a central level also problem. Okay, because ultimately when states has problem, center only has to help. Okay, then second one, I told you the counter fiscal policy, and third one is the other thing which I told. Banks are already in problem. CRR they have to keep 4.5%, SLR they have to keep 18% of the NDTL, that is net demand and time liability. 40% you have to keep in priority sector loans, I told. Then very less money is there for lending. Okay, now that also, if government come and tell we want loan, okay, internal debt which I told, government take loan from there, then how will the other private sector and the people and the companies, everybody take loan? Because if the economy has to progress, everybody needs money. Okay, you also will be needing loan, I also will be needing loan. So if government take everything and go, banks has nothing to give, then how will you do? Even if they give, then they will tell, okay, now we are hiking the interest, we'll give you a loan, but 15% interest, 20% interest. And how will you repay the loan? So this all are the problems when you have a debt, okay, or a deficit. Then finally, today's borrowing is taxing tomorrow, meaning this government will take all the loan and everything and go. Now already we are suffering. The previous government, because they did too much blunder in oil bond purchases and many things to just keep the petrol price constant for many years in their UPA time regime, they just made the people happy here. But how were they doing it? By signing a lot of loans, oil bonds from outside places. So that now this government is repaying lakhs of crores every month. Okay, so now this government do any mistake, that the next government will suffer. So like this it will keep on going. So doing something today, you will escape from there, but the next generation will suffer. So these are all the problems when debt you already have, and it will lead to more and more problems. Okay, and again they are telling Finance Commission, 14th Finance Commission of 2019-20 had recommended like the debt to GDP ratio should be some 58.2 maximum. So that you have to try to maintain. Okay, and again they're giving some numbers like that, like they mentioned that, they mentioned this. So that numbers you don't have to buy heart, but they're telling like the center should maintain something percentage and state should maintain some 22%. And even before the pandemic we are struggling. After the pandemic also we didn't properly recover. So that same thing with numbers he's explaining, whatever is explained in the previous thing. Then the good things also, and one line if you see that yellow in the center, every individual in the country bears a debt burden of 1,64,000. Okay, meaning if the total debt of India is taken and divided by the population given to each one of you, we all are like 1,64,000 equivalent of debt we have. Okay, and then good thing they are telling is the GST. Okay, GST which came 2017. Now this year we completed 6 years. That also I explained. That is doing good now. Okay, GST, you know, everybody are paying properly. Also the digital dashboard of GST is excellent website. If you have seen the GST website, it's an excellent website. When companies and every one of us, we go and pay the taxes and all, you can see that it's very well established. The dashboard, everything is very easy. Okay, so people are finding it more convenient. The cashback what is there, or the anything. Okay, because you have two things to file always. You have income tax to file, which is your income, and GST to file. So GST is improved income tax always had some problems. Okay, the dashboards, but GST is so efficiently and so well done, whoever has done it. Okay, so that is now getting stabilized and it is leading to our growth potential, and it is in the long term it will again increase only the GST revenue and everything. Okay, so that will reflect in the income tax also. That is what is being told. Okay, it will help to improve tax administration, improve compliance, and by matching GST with income tax also expected to improve, and so overall our GDP's tax collection will improve, and that obviously will go to government only. So government will have no shortage of funds if everybody does it properly. Okay, the ease of paying tax has become much better. Okay. So now again, time to rethink the role of a state, meaning center and state, what they should do. So one thing you should know, disinvestment. This is also one term which you should study. Disinvestment is like, Air India is now privatized, right? So like that, disinvestment means like 100% is with the government, and if you give suppose like 25% to some Tata group or Reliance group, that is called disinvestment. Okay, you are a little bit giving something and you get money, you get a lot of crores of rupees to the government. So burden of handling it also reduced because that much share has gone to them, and then money also come in. Another thing is strategic disinvestment, where you are actually giving more than 50% to them, meaning like complete, maybe 60%, 80%, 100% is sold to Tata or Reliance or any group, any private group. That means this is strategic disinvestment. So here author is asking, why is the government still running, which is this loss-making thing? Like Air India was completely loss-making. Now Tata Group has taken up. Hopefully in the coming years they will make it profitable. Like that BSNL. For years we are pumping in lot of money to BSNL and it is completely in loss. It is not able to match the speed of Airtel or now the new one Jio, or they are not able to expand into rural or urban areas. Nothing is happening. Simply lakhs of crores of rupees are pumped into BSNL every year. So author is asking why you are holding it. Just sell it. Okay, just sell it to the private holders, whoever wanted. Let open bidding and let them buy it and then let them do. Because most of the other countries, government is not focused on running these things and all. Private people itself take care. Okay, and state level, I told you during elections and all, this freebies, which even in Karnataka, which happened recently and full blunder happened, they promised a free 5 kilo rice, then free metro rides for women, free bus rides for women. Like that, many freebies they announced, and finally now they are not able to fulfill the promises. So this money and all is taxpayers' money. You cannot decide simply to win elections. If you keep announcing subsidies and freebies, it will again become a loss and debt burden only. So that things also state has to take responsibility. And finally, if you see that line, macroeconomic stabilization is predominantly a union government responsibility. Okay, how much ever the states do, ultimately center will have to then pay the burden. Okay, they'll have to then help out these states also. Then again, it's all in the center's burden. So that way both has to make proper rules, efficiently work on it, and union should especially be very proactive in monitoring the states also. Don't leave them just like that to spend unwantedly just to win elections. Okay, so that way they have concluded this particular article. Okay, so now next one, SCO, 4th July, already the summit happened. India was the chair. So India was the chair, and this time we didn't make it the physical meet. It was possible to do because like, G20 will come now, we will invite everyone here. But SCO, especially because China and Pakistan is there in the group, India did not want to give them a grand welcome or any such functions they did not want to do. Okay. So members you can see here, China, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, India, Pakistan. And now on 4th July, Iran officially became its member. Okay. So I think it's 9 members now. So this is the latest update, and UPSC will ask because of this reason. Okay, Iran is an official member now of SCO. Okay, not like a upcoming member, it has officially become the member. Since 2021 it has been working on it. Now it is officially become. Now next one is, if you see there, Belarus. Belarus is also in this summit. They signed the papers, everything is ready. So they, in I think 24 or 25, they will also become the member. As of now, Belarus is the upcoming. Okay, and Belarus this year is in news multiple times. Please go and learn it. Where is in the map, what is the bordering countries, history of Belarus, all these things please try to study. Okay, question can come. And now if you see here, these are the extra things I am teaching you because SCO is too much in the news. These are the dialogue partners of SCO, meaning there are some groups where members will be there, and then there will be dialogue partners, there will be observers, there will be special partners, associate members, like that many things are there. Okay, like India also like need not be part of every group. Okay, like there is this Islamic, I think, Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC. India is not a member of that. Okay, India is a country where the highest Muslim population is living, but India is not part of that. It's all that Saudi controlled, all the other Muslim countries are part of it, and India is a kind of associate member to it. Okay, India is not a full-time member as of now. So like that, here if you see for SCO, these many countries are dialogue partners, which in future someday may become the actual member. Okay, and then Bahrain is there, Belarus is there. Belarus, if you see, it's written former dialogue partner, because now it became the actual partner itself, actual member itself. Okay, and then if you see observer states, Afghanistan, Belarus, Mongolia. Mongolia was the first country to receive observer status in 2004 Tashkent summit. Okay, so try to find out where is Tashkent also. Tashkent is the capital of a country in Central Asia. Try to find out. Okay. And then Pakistan, India, Iran received observer status in Astana. Okay, Astana is the capital of Kazakhstan. So then later, all three of these from the observer state became the member state. Okay, Pakistan, India became in 2017 and Iran now became in 2023. And then there is this guest attendees also. These people like ASEAN group, the Commonwealth group, Turkmenistan, okay, UN. Turkmenistan, if you see, that's also Central Asian country, but that is not a member. Okay, there are 5 Central Asian countries. So except Turkmenistan, everything is a member of SCO. Turkmenistan is a guest attendee only. Okay. Now, so 4th July, we had this summit. So we had an SCO moment and we signed the New Delhi Declaration, in which we told like we'll be countering radicalization, exploring cooperation and digital transformation, other usual things. This is what every summit, everyone will sign. So Iran got full SCO membership. Then I told memorandum of obligations to Belarus to join this SCO, that was also signed. Until 2030, we will have a SCO economic development strategy, that also was decided. So in the world is changing, that's what they have discussed there. World is changing, geopolitical tensions are there. USA, China is fighting, Russia, Ukraine is fighting, Israel, Palestine has problems, then India, Pakistan has problem. Then SCO economic development, so it should be like considering all these things, the economic slowdown, energy crisis, food shortage, climate change, like this many problems are there. So we need joint response of all the countries and we should be an example. SCO should be an example where we show like we can do something to make the community have a better future. Okay, better future for mankind. So uphold the core interest, synergizing their national development strategies and all the regional activities also. Okay, whatever regional, that also you have to work upon, and how you can show to the globe also, that also you should work upon. And so some statement, if you see, that's a good one. SCO has been a guardian of and contributor to regional peace, stability and prosperity. So this in an SCO answer you can use as an opening line or as a concluding line or anywhere. If you highlight, it's a very good statement. Okay, and then going forward, in a new era, the SCO member states should strengthen strategic communication, deepen practical cooperation, and support each other's development and rejuvenation. Okay, so like this, as I told, author is a kind of fan of SCO and has written very, very good words and excellent such sentences are there. So there's no takeaway there, but good sentences which you can use in the mains answer. Okay, see, mutual trust, the new Cold War is going on between USA and China. So our bloc, SCO should not fall into such traps and join any group, any side. That kind of things and all has been discussed. Okay, terrorism we have to fight, transnational organized crime we have to fight. There should be cooperation in digital, biological, outer space security, facilitate political settlement when it comes to international and regional hotspot issue. Meaning wherever problem is there, you should act as a mediator and solve the issues. Okay, collaboration in trade, investment, technology, climate, every possible thing you can imagine is written in this article. Okay, then the main thing, if you see the last one, is very important. Collective efforts to scale up the local currency settlement, meaning the currency in which you trade and all between SCO members. Then expand the cooperation on sovereign digital currency. Like India is also working on a digital currency. Okay, because we don't want this Bitcoin or cryptocurrency to take over. So our central bank digital currency, CBDC, RBI is actually working on. So that may come in future. Okay, meaning instead of keeping your money cash thing, you can have a digital rupee, digital kind of money. Okay, that soon will come out in the next 2 to 3 years. And then most important, the last line, establishment of an SCO development bank. Like as I told, for BRICS group, we have a BRICS bank, which is also called New Development Bank. For Asia completely, we have an Asian Development Bank, ADB, which is in Philippines headquartered. Same like that for SCO people also, they are thinking of a bank, development bank. So they can like collect some money, then give out loan to their members. So they don't have to depend on this World Bank and IMF and all like that. They are planning an SCO development bank also. As of now, we don't have it. Okay. Then need for multilateralism, meaning again, everybody should have like dialogues with everyone. Everyone should not only within those member countries, with the international UN, international like World Bank, everyone, we should have frequent meetings, and it should be a multilateral forum. Okay, so together we can promote world peace. And SCO success story is part of the broader global partnership of emerging economy and developing countries, meaning we are like a face of all the emerging countries and developing countries. Even though we are just 8-9 members in the SCO, we are like a face for them, a broader global thing. Okay, so we are increasingly acting as a progressive force for world fairness and justice. Okay, now as I told, in the next 2 months, 2 important summits are happening. One, South Africa will be president for the BRICS summit, and then one, India will be president for the G20 summit. So both are very important, where we are going to chair, meaning members of our group are going to chair. So we can show to the world that we are capable of running this multipolar world order and such things and all. So again, big things. And then about China's thing, because China is always like a contention point for everyone. Everybody has some concern with China. So China told their commitments that with India, South Africa and everybody in the South, we will do some initiatives: global security initiative, global development initiative, global civilization initiative. So what are these things and all? We'll come to see in the future. So we will respect each country's independent choice of the path to development and social system, abide by the UN Charter. This and all, I don't know whether China will follow, because China never listened to UN or never listens to anyone. So, but still they are telling all these in the summit. Then dialogue and diplomacy offer the best hope to address international dispute by peaceful means. Okay, they are the ones who actually cross border and attack India, but still they are telling all these things. Okay, so our voice should be loud and clear against hegemony, unilateralism, Cold War mentality, bloc confrontation. We should overcome all these things, and we should any illegally like unilateral sanctions, anything like is coming and putting sanctions on it, that and all we should fight. Any jurisdiction which is trying to overreach into our autonomy and all, that you should reject. So we will lead by example and safeguarding the development rights and legitimate interest of the developing world. So overall, if you see from first slide to last slide, it's almost the same thing. Okay, except for that Iran point and some Delhi declaration and some pointers, everything looked same. That's why I told today's articles are not very UPSC specific. Okay, it's for interest sake, you can read, you can have a proper idea about SEO, and that's why I showed you a lot of that members and Wikipedia and all, so that at least I can teach you something. Other article also, I taught you many extra things. Okay, SLR, CLR, CRR, NDTL, the debt, fiscal deficit, primary deficit, many terms I taught you. So like this, slowly if you watch my editorial daily, many things you will learn. But for completion, for actually clearing the exam, this editorial won't be sufficient. Editorial with our test series. Okay, so test series, take it seriously if you have joined at least. Okay, economics test and all will come after a few days only. Now the year just started. Students might be giving now NCERT test and such things and current affairs. And slowly we will enter economics. That time you will understand this editorial plus that question bank is going to do wonders for you. Okay, that I can guarantee, because those things are also prepared by me. It's not like teamwork or something. The complete editorial, the complete test series is done by me only. Our team actually works on different lectures and other things, so that you already see in YouTube. But whatever is the thing which I'm giving you in person, that will be prepared by me, so you can be assured of the quality. Okay, it's not done by a third party or it's not taken from anywhere. It's originally done from scratch. So you can enroll to that for, again, same thing, WhatsApp. Okay, WhatsApp and the YouTube, if you're not there, you will not be aware of updates, because I see like we give something after 1 month, the same person. Okay, when you contact me, right, the first day I save your number. Okay, then after 1 month you are again coming and asking as if you don't even remember what we talked last month. Okay, you're coming, sir, are you Vysh IAS? Are you going to give me this thing? I heard about free lecture 1 month back also you heard, but that time you messaged and you forgot. You didn't save our number, you didn't subscribe the channel, you just forgot. So please take seriously when you contact Vysh IAS. Take it seriously. It will change your way of preparation. Okay, so subscribe the channel, WhatsApp me, follow on Instagram. I'll come up with the next video. Thank you and have a nice day.